Good Thursday morning to you on the Rural Radio Network. I'm Bryce Duskett. It is time to look at the factors influencing the commodity trade today. On the line with us from Chicago is Mark Gold with Top Third Ag Marketing. Good morning, Mark.
Well, good morning. Overnight, we had May corn up 3/4 of a cent, 4.52. May wheat up a penny, 5.34 1/4. And November beans up 7 3/4 cents at 10.08 3/4. I haven't seen anything really concrete why the beans would rally here today. The export sales were just terrible on the beans. 338 old, a net reduction of 22 new for a total of 316 under what they were looking for. Corn was a little bit under what they were looking for, about 100,000 metric tons at 1.04, still a pretty decent number. And the wheat was pathetic, 89,000 metric tons combined, 100 old, a reduction of 11,000 on the new. So, again, I don't know what rallied the beans, but possibly people are looking at the average guesses for the acres numbers and deciding that maybe they're getting a little bit too cheap here in the beans. The average guess is 83.76. I think it could even be lower than that, closer to 83. But at any rate, maybe that's why the beans rallied out here. Trump put the tariffs on 25% of cars brought into the U.S. That's going to be inflationary. The Chinese vessel tax was in a congressional hearing with the ag representatives deciding that this is a really bad deal for American agriculture and they don't want it put on. So we'll see if that works. I don't see any deal possible in the Ukraine-Russian situation, and the drought maps still look dry. That's about it.
All right. Appreciate that information. Mark Gold with Top Third Ag Marketing joining us from Chicago. You can learn more at topthird.com.
Big news from the Rural Radio Network. At this year's National Association of Farm Broadcasting Awards, our broadcasters earned an incredible 7 honors, more than any other broadcast group in the nation. Shout out to Chad Moyer, Alex McAvica, Susan Littlefield, and Bryce Duskett for leading the way in excellence across radio and video categories. The Rural Radio Network, your trusted source for award-winning agricultural news, markets, and information. Proudly serving farmers, ranchers, and rural communities every day.
Introducing the Rural Radio Podcast Hub. In a world flooded with podcasts, this one stands out by focusing on what truly matters, rural America. Stay informed of the latest market updates and insightful commentary on Final Bell. Keep up with rodeo and Western lifestyle through Breaking the Barrier and the Nebraska Rodeo Update. And sharpen your marketing skills with Grain IQ. RuralRadioNetwork.com. The Rural Radio Podcast Hub, the one place to hear it all.
Welcome back to the Rural Radio Network. Let's get our livestock comments this morning with Jerry Stowell from Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. Good Thursday morning to you, Jerry.
Good morning. S&P futures down 7. The dollar index is 27 lower. Dow futures currently up 33, while crude oil is 69.68, up 3. Last night's lean hog index was 89.13, up 23. Pork cutout value fell 190 to 95.65. Now, we do have a hog and pig report today, so I would think we'd have a little bit of subdued trading ahead of that. Guesses are all hogs and pigs 101.2, kept for breeding 100.2, kept for market 101.1. And then those pigs per litter, everybody will be watching D's Feb pigs per litter are 101.7. We'll call hogs mixed here on the opening. Cattle complex, the latest feeder index 286.90 down 35. Choice beef cutout value rose again, up 311, 338.30. Very little cash fed trade so far. We did see trade in Iowa yesterday on 1,230 head at 213. And that would be just a slightly lower trend here. I think some of those cattle were probably hedge cattle and taking advantage of the basis. So we still have yet to go here in the cash market this week. We'll just call cattle futures mixed here on the opening.
All right, appreciate that information, Jerry. Overall, the strength of box beef prices back on cattle so far this week indicate we could see some solid demand continue. Choice cuts increased by $3.11 with select cuts up $2.48. Jerry Stowell with Country Futures, our guest as we talk to livestock markets here on the Rural Radio Network. If you'd like to get in contact with them, the phone is the best way. That phone number, 800-292-4038. Do remember that trading futures involves a risk of loss and may not be suitable to all investors. I'm Bryce Duskett on the Rural Radio Network.